Hi there guys, it's Pip here, and today I want to talk to you a bit more about the Tim Han workshop about personal development that I talked to you about yesterday. Now if you haven't seen that video, it's just an introduction, so don't worry, you can go back and watch that if you like. If not, I'll give you a brief overview. So there's a personal development workshop by a guy called Tim Han, who is an international speaker, author of something like Feel Your Heart and Take Action. It's a book, it's on Amazon, it's a bestseller, and Follow Your Heart and Take Action, sorry. And also he does a course now that he's got called LMA course, which is more about discovering the painful memories and subconscious thoughts that we have that hold ourselves back. Now it's a 6-week course and they release a module every week. It's $997, which is about 900 plus pound. It does change obviously because of the rate, the US dollar going up and down at the moment. And yeah, it's you can pay 6 monthly fees of, I think it's 200 and something. So I'm just going to pay the 1 month fee. You can cancel after a month, or within 30 days, sorry, which I may probably do just because of unfortunately financial circumstances at this time. But I did want to talk to you a bit about that. So I started week 1 yesterday, and considering week 1, he likens the course Tim does to being able to learn to swim, and he said week 1 is kind of like just dipping your toes in the water. Well, my goodness, it was very interesting, and I got about 4 videos in out of 8, I think it was, and I needed a mental break because I wouldn't say it's intense, but it's extremely enlightening is what I'd say. The videos are about 10 to 15 minutes long. They're not very long at all, but he has a few exercises in one of them. So one of the exercises that you start off with is about your limiting beliefs, and he has this sort of pathway that you write down. So he has a pathway whereby you write down your limiting thoughts, and when you first had them, I'm trying to find my notes now. Limiting thoughts, when you first had them, things like when, is that true? Was that true? Is it genuinely true now? What is true now? And what is your new thought? So there's 6 questions. So what is a limiting belief? When did you first have this belief? When, was it true at the time? Is it generally true now? What is true now? And what is your new, belief or new, more accurate thought? And this was quite interesting. So I did this with 6 of my limiting thoughts. Anything from you can't afford it, which is something I say constantly to myself, having made some bad decisions, trusting people I shouldn't, who unfortunately took a lot of money away from me. Money that was my grandparents, that they gave to me when they died, sorry. And that has taken a very long time to come to grips with. But it makes me have extreme, financial scarcity, and also spending a lot on a course which I haven't yet made good of, which is to do with Amazon and marketing, and I'll talk about that in another video. Anyway, so that was one of my beliefs. The other one is things like you're not good enough or you're not strong enough, which I have, having had a lot of mental illness in my life, everything from extreme suicidal thoughts to not being able to go out the house with anxiety. I've had all that sort of stuff in my life, depression. I think I had a lot of depression in my teenage years, things like that, issues at school, things like that, which everyone has, and other thoughts such as, I had this weird thought actually, and I'm going to illustrate it to you, not because I'm particularly proud of this thought, but because I didn't realise how much sadness it was causing. Please ignore that, that's just a message from someone. And one of these thoughts was because you're not a very pretty girl, there's no way you can ever have a partner, because unless you're blonde haired, blue eyed, look like Barbie, and have an amazing figure, have an amazing job, you know, you're always confident, there's no way you can have, you know, a partner or a long-term partner, or anyone who's going to stick around, which obviously isn't true on the surface, because there's loads of people with partners. I mean, you know, I look at my best friend and her partner, well, you know, she's one of thousands and thousands of couples out there who don't look the exact image of Barbie and Ken, you know. So it was a mad thought, but when I wrote that down, I was really upset just thinking about it, just writing it down, because it was like, because no one will ever love you because of the way you are, like, and to have somebody love you, you have to become something that you're not. So that was really bizarre. And I thought about it, and the next question obviously was, you know, when did that first thought come about? It actually came about as a result of a conversation with my dad. And my dad was a really kind, supportive person. But we had a conversation. I remember having it to this day. I remember where I was, remember the atmosphere, remember that it was sunny and it was outside. And I was just talking with him in general about just about relationships, because I think I was a bit upset with a friend or something. And the reason I started to believe that that was true was because my dad made a comment, not to hurt me, but just a general comment, like, oh well, you've never been out with anyone anyway, which was true, but I took it kind of the wrong way, and I believed it because my dad is always really kind. I wouldn't have taken it as true from anyone else, but because it came from my dad, I thought my dad wouldn't say anything unkind, he would say something that was true, and that's when I started to believe it. And that was quite a revelation, really. And is it true now? I don't know. I think that probably the people looking for the blonde bombshells are probably idiots, because looks change anyway. I'd rather, in any case, go for someone with an amazing personality. So even if it was true, like, why should I even care? And that was another interesting insight. And I kind of had this slight realisation, it hasn't fully sunk in yet, but that, and you might have this when you try this exercise with yourself, that something that you've told yourself long ago, or something that happened long ago that made you believe a certain thing, isn't necessarily who you are, or and it's not necessarily the truth. So I just wanted to bring that to you today. As I say, this is a really interesting course by Tim Han. It's at www.lma.com. Feel free to go there and check it out. You can check out Success Insider, which is Tim Han's YouTube channel. And yeah, it was pretty amazing. So try this exercise. So here are the 6 questions again. So they are, what's the belief? When did it first occur? Was it true? Is it generally true? Like, is it generally true now? What is true now? And what is your new, more accurate thought? And as I say, I tried this with 6 of my limiting beliefs, and it was emotionally hard, but I've had some interesting changes as a result. Just realising that things I thought maybe are not true, you know, or things like, oh, because you've had a lot of ill mental health in the past, you're not strong enough, because you'll, you know, if you go out and you do that amazing thing, you won't be able to cope, you'll experience more negative thoughts and more mental illness as a result. You might even become, you know, have suicidal thoughts again, which has been stopping me from doing a lot of things in life, because obviously once you have that experience, you never want to go back. So that's all from me. I hope you found the exercise useful, and I'll speak to you again tomorrow. Bye now.